Hello again, it's Alan Shawn from the Fan Pub. You got another player?
Yeah, we've been bouncing back and forward players. We're going to do it in a bit more regularity. So I'm going to throw this one at Al, then Al's going to throw one at me, and we're going to do that for a few players. Again, this is to give you some insight into how we're thinking about these players and where we differ, which is the whole point of these kind of player profile videos.
Exactly. I don't know who he's going to choose, so it's going to be...
He'll be absolutely on the cold, and he's going to give us his straightforward, honest reaction. So the player I'm going to choose is one of my players that's been really hard to judge over the last few years, although he had a much better 2018 campaign. Can he carry that on to 2019? That's Keenan Allen. I'd love to get your insight into Keenan Allen, their old faithful. What do you think of him for this year?
I think he's actually not that hard to judge. I think he's pretty solid. You know what you're going to get. He's probably second round numbers. He'll be in that top sort of 15 wide receivers, probably towards the bottom end.
You think he's good value for that numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I think him and Rivers have shown they've got a chemistry on the field where, you know, he's going to look to him for his first target nearly every time. Maybe not in the red zone, because Mike Williams and Hunter Henry might feature more there.
His injury history, does that worry you? I know he had a much better...
No, I don't think so. One of them was a freak. Was it a liver injury he had? I mean,
yeah, it was nothing.
That's
he
pretty
landed,
hard to replicate.
That's bad luck.
So he's only had 1 year out. He's had 2 years back since then. So.
Okay, so you think he's good for his numbers?
I think he's not someone I'd ever be excited about picking, but I think he's about fair.
So here's my issue with him. Okay, so let me, while you check him out, his ADP today, I just want to throw this question at Al. Right, so this is going to surprise a lot of people. So we're going to talk standards because that's fair for this video, because standard reflects the other leagues anyway quite clearly. What points do you think he got last year, Keenan Allen? You might be surprised.
I'd say about 160.
Okay, let's have a little look.
What, in standard?
In standard scoring, let's take a little look at this. It surprised me a little bit, actually. Him and T.Y. Hilton are going very close together. His current ADP, was, for the benefit of everybody?
His current ADP is around... He's dropped a bit. He's 25. He was about 16, 17 last year.
Right, so 25. So that's, for the big leagues, that's obviously inside 2 rounds. For the small leagues, that's outside 2 rounds, which is okay. You mitigate the risk. He's one of these players right on the edge of that risk. So he could well be your first or second wide receiver off the board in the big league. So would you be kind enough, just for the benefit of this video, just bring up his stats. So if you click on the player for me there now, and then you can go on to the stats of the player, that will really massively help. I'll keep filling in. I've not been a huge fan of his.
Allen, he's going wide receiver 10.
Yeah, so if you pick up all his stats on the profile, let's have a little look. There you go, that's it. And then that will give you the 2000, the whole gamut. If you go to 2018, you'll notice very carefully. So if you read out his stat line here.
So 2018, 16 games, 97 catches, 136 from 136 targets.
More valuable in PPR leagues over standard.
So 1,200 yards nearly and 6 touchdowns.
So basically 150.
Yeah, so that's about 150 with 6.
And I would say that was actually...
That was 4 points out.
Yeah, I would say that for Keenan Allen, that was a good year.
Oh, and we had 75 rushing yards. So
yeah,
actually...
so you're about bang on 160. That's what you're saying, roughly.
Wow, yeah.
Bang on. And I think that's
all right.
I think he's safe. But my worry with him is the same as T.Y. And if you look at T.Y. Hilton's stats, they're almost identical. And they're going about the same point of a draft. What worries me with both these guys is more so on Keenan Allen. He just seems to be unlucky. And I don't mean that horribly, because I think...
He played 16 games.
He did everything last year right. Do you think there's more ceiling in there, or do you think that is the ceiling and floor together there? That would be an interesting question. Do you think there's a bit more in there, or do you think that's...
He's had 6 receiving touchdowns both years. He had about 190 yards less last year.
Yeah, and you can't help that.
So that's 20 points, give or take. So he had 180 2 years ago, 160 odd.
So you think somewhere in the middle, but he might actually get 170.
But I think that's
that's fair. I mean, Al's right. He's a safe player for that round. I mean, if you're looking, sometimes you have to play for the best player in that round, and he is pretty safe. So I can't really disagree with you. I'm just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate about what he's capable of for Keenan Allen. I've always been a bit unlucky whenever I've drafted Keenan Allen. He's been a player I don't.
Well, that's why I like him, to be honest.
I've got no negatives about him for this year. It's not like he's on.
It's all good news.
There's nothing about him that I'm saying I wouldn't draft, but there's no way I will.
So he didn't work out for you, is that?
Yeah, I won't draft him.
That's another plus in my book.
Yeah, I won't draft him, but it's just because I have no luck with him.
But sometimes it can be like that. If a player's hurt you in fantasy, don't
A few
you think?
times, yeah, you tend
He's
to
hurt you a
avoid.
few times?
Yeah, tend to avoid.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You take him.
It's really terrible.
Yeah, see
But
how
I've had him,
upset,
he's been alright.
see how upset you are over this Keenan Allen.
I am.
I've waited a long time to throw it at you, but you're a fan, and that's fine. A lot of people will be because
T.Y. Hilton's going two picks earlier on the consensus,
which is a little bit mental. But again, the upside I suppose is higher. But that's fair, I suppose.
Andrew looks probably slightly better.
But if you look at T.Y. Hilton as well, just to give a comparison, they're not far off, are they? ADP and everything else.
Same touchdowns. He had 100 extra yards,
so it just gives you an idea. T.Y. Hilton, I mean,
but only 14 games from T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah,
he's very up and down. Do you think T.Y. Hilton will have a 200-yard game
and then nothing,
and then he'll have 8 yards?
Yeah, that's what I think the problem is. At least with Keenan Allen, it's a bit more steady, and I think there's actually, which outrightly highlights this, that whether you think there's more TDs.
Steady.
I think they're steady, and you know what? Steady sometimes is fine in fantasy because you can't always find shoot for the moon. The only thing is, if he's your first, are you comfortable with him as a first wide receiver in a standard league? Are you comfortable with that as your first pick in a second round?
Well, I've got 2 stud running backs.
You've already got. No, say it's a big league, so you've already got a running back in the first round. You've got Keenan Allen on the bounce back. You're happy with him? It sounds okay, doesn't it? That doesn't sound too bad.
What did we say he was going?
About 25. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with him at the end of the second.
Yeah, and you might be getting him depending on the league size.
And T.Y. Hilton similar, or I got him in the early third bounce back.
Pretty safe, but not exciting. That's the only drawback, isn't it? Is he going to explode past his second round premium?
Well, let's just have a look at the.
I mean, I just want to put this in. I mean, you're in a large league. You're looking at second round player's got to get you 180, and he hasn't done it. So is it just
taking
safe?
him at the end of that second? So
you'd be looking at your
it's very
third round
different
player.
between early second round and in a 16-man league.
That's true. Yeah,
so between picking 17 and picking 32.
Big difference. Yeah, you're right. And then I guess if you can get safety at 32,
so if you can get 170 from your man at the end of the second and then 170 from your guy at the start of the third,
it balances itself out beautifully.
Exactly,
that's fair. Fair shout from Al, and it's a good.
Maybe
good
you could
point.
get Hilton and Allen and get both of them
That's
for
fine.
170 each. Be all right.
Well, I think Al summed him up quite well. Did you want to add any further comments on Keenan Allen?
Yeah, the other thing I want to say is, I mean, think about who's going to be playing opposite most of the time now. And this guy is also a threat.
Yeah.
We both like Mike Williams.
We do, yeah.
So he might draw some of the attention. They've got a plan for both. Some of the attention away from.
I could see both players doing quite well. It's an offense that is a nice passing offense. They've got a good
They've got
running
Hunter
game.
Henry. They've got Melvin.
There's a
Gordon.
lot to like about the offense. So again. Look, if he's never hurt you and he's a good player, then it's a good pick there. And our highlights quite rightly, this guy is going to be a very steady 160 to 170.
The Chargers are a very good team.
If I had to put some money on what I think he'll do, I would say this. I think Keenan Allen easily gives you 1,100 yards. I think that's fair. I don't think that's unrealistic.
6 touchdowns.
And I would say he actually gets 8 because I think there's a little regression for touchdowns for Mike, which he takes the benefit of and gets 8.
That might Hunter Henry though might get them.
But it could be. But then that tells you that he screams of that 170 value, and that's pretty damn good down there. So
So you now believe in what I say.
I am not disagreeing with Al on this one, but I'm not picking him either.
So we could see Sean draft him again this year, and then
never going to happen.
I mean,
so I'm sorry, I can't draft him. He's just a do not draft me. I can't. Yeah, he's safe. He's safe for other people, but not for me. Whenever I get him, he has major injuries like liver.
Well, that's why you
lets
sometimes you've got to face your fear, Sean.
I do. I face it head on every time I think back, and I know what to do. So yeah, it's a good, interesting player.
Well, everyone that's drafted in our 16-man league, if he's there, leave him for Sean because that's going to be worth watching.
Oh God, please don't do that. Please, unless it's really late second round, so I've got an early third, which won't happen because we do third round reversal. It's even worse of a nightmare.
Well, it depends which league, but doesn't it?
Yeah, true. Okay, well, thanks for watching. There was Al's question. He's answered it beautifully.
I mean, I think it's worth a thumbs up, a like, just for Sean's pain on Keenan Allen in the past. If we can't all laugh at somebody else's pain, I mean,
he has
cost. He
has hurt me a lot actually. The past stuff. He got injured. That liver injury came pre-season as well.
It's a
you might
bizarre
remember.
injury, wasn't it?
It was really weird, and that hurt me because he wasn't even high that year. It was only like the 4th rounder I got him. I thought that was great value, and then of course he was out for the season, so that's hurt me.
Jack Doyle have a liver injury as well.
Yeah, I picked him as well. I got him on that year. He had an injury as well, so I'm quite good at that.
People play an operation on these players. I mean, what is going on?
It does seem like it. A very obscure operation it is too.
Okay. Well, like I say, if you'd like to leave a like on Sean's pain, I mean, I think that's
Oh
fair
god, that's
enough,
worth
you know.
doing, isn't it? Thanks
And,
very much.
subscribe if you want to see more of his pain.
Thanks.
I'm
Oh, I'm
that's-
looking forward to your next video. See what you pick for me. Let's see how much
Okay,
pain you
thanks.
can put me under.
Thanks very much for watching.
Take care. Bye bye.